Hello, it's me Julianne. Welcome back to Bookish Brit's Anti-Bullying Week, Part 2, or as I like to call it, Anti-Bullying Week. The books strike back. Oh yeah, Star Wars references for the win. So in today's video I'm going to be talking about some books which show different kinds of bullying. All of these don't have bullying as their main topic or focus, because I haven't read that many books about bullying. I will freely admit this. I suppose when I was at school, I wanted books that were more escapist and didn't feature something that happened in my everyday life. And also because when I do read about bullying in books, it makes me quite angry. I went to put the book down and sort of jump into it like a portal and shout at everybody to start being nicer to each other. So anyway, these are all books which are about something else but feature bullying of some kind in some way. So as some of the other Bookish Brits bloggers have mentioned, bullying isn't necessarily like the stereotype we have where a bigger, stronger kid makes a smaller, weaker kid give them their pocket money or their lunch money or whatever. It's not necessarily violent, of course it can be, and there are lots of different methods that bullies use to get what they want, and to make themselves feel superior and to make the other person feel inferior, and to either for entertainment or to claw their own way up the social ladder at school. Or at home, or wherever the bullying is taking place, even at work. So the first book I'm going to be talking about is A Great and Terrible Beauty by Libba Bray. This is the first in the Gemma Doyle trilogy. Gemma Doyle, basically her mother dies in India where Gemma's grown up, and she has to come to England with her father, and then she goes to boarding school. And when she gets to boarding school, she becomes roommates with a girl called Anne. Now, Anne isn't like the rest of the other girls at the boarding school. Anne is not there to kind of finish her education off and then go into society as a debutante. She's not a rich heiress. She's not even going to marry anybody rich. Now, Anne is actually quite poor, and she's been sent to Spence, the boarding school, in order that she may become a governess for her cousin's children. I think they're cousins. Yes. And the other girls, as you might imagine, this being Victorian England, are pretty horrible to Anne. Poor Anne has to put up with not only being directly teased about the fact that she's poor and doesn't have all the luxuries that they can afford, but also because she's not as pretty as they are, because she hasn't grown up in luxury. They exclude her from things, you know. They won't include her in their gossip sessions, they won't invite her to sit with them. They basically consider themselves much better than she is, and so yeah, I think that's a really major type of bullying by exclusion. You know, I was left out of things quite a lot. You know, it's so typical being the last to be picked for the team. You know, you only have this person in your group out of obligation, and yeah, the other girls at Spence are just horrible to Anne, and for Anne, becoming involved with the magic that Gemma has is a way out. It's something that offers hope to her. So the second book I'm going to be talking about is The Boy Book by Ruby Oliver. I really love this series, and I talked about it in my intro video, so if you want to hear more about it and find out what the general plot is, go watch that video. So this is quite a minor detail in The Boy Book, but it provides a really good example. At the start of the book, Ruby recounts the gossip from a party that she wasn't invited to, but a lot of the other kids at her school, take prep, attended. And her friend Nora and some other girls went skinny dipping in the pool. And unfortunately, as Nora was getting out of the water, one of the boys took a picture of her breasts. Now, the boys are plotting to show this around the school and to really humiliate Nora, and Ruby takes action to defend Nora, really, because she knows how devastated Nora will be if the picture does go around the school. Anyway, I thought this was a really good example of kind of sexual harassment, bullying. When I was at school, I didn't really have to put up with this in my lessons because I went to a girls' school. But at the end of the school day, we had to walk home past the boys' school next door. Now, they used to come out 10 minutes before we did. I think it was some kind of devious plot on the part of the head teachers so that we'd avoid actually having to see each other. But unfortunately, they used to hang around, and of course, especially at the bus stop. Anyway, they'd be hanging out on the grass sometimes as you walked by, and they'd call out things to you, they'd comment on your body, they'd say you were hot, or they'd say you were ugly, depending on their mood. They'd go, "Were you that of my friend?" Sometimes they'd run up and put themselves in front of you, or they'd try to follow you home. But yeah, I think this is another kind of bullying, and it can happen between girls as well. Girls teasing each other because they don't wear bras yet, or they got to wear bras first. I think it depends on who's popular in the class. If the popular girl is a kind of a young developer, as it were, then it may be the girls who haven't grown much yet that get teased, and vice versa. But yeah, I don't think it's something that's talked about that much, and it's really a problem. So the third and last book I'm going to talk about is Last Chance, also known as Keeping the Moon by Sarah Desson, which I have a copy of, but it's packed up in a box somewhere, so I've been redecorating. Do you like my new wall, by the way? I know. Very similar to the old one, just without the print. Anyway, Last Chance, which is what my copy is called, is about a girl called Cody who goes to spend the summer in the small town by the sea where her aunt lives. Cody used to be overweight, and so was her mother, and they moved around a lot when Cody was a child, so she didn't really get much chance to make friends. And this all changed when her mother became a weight loss instructor and subsequently extremely famous, and started selling a whole wave of products and appearing on television and everything. And at Cody's new school, everybody knows that she used to be overweight, and they also know that she's quite wealthy now, and so they're very mean and they leave her out of things and they tease her a lot. And Cody is completely unused to the way her body is now. Not only has she gone through puberty, but she's also lost so much weight, and she's just generally very insecure. And in Last Chance, she gets taken out of this situation and to learn to be more confident, really, and to love herself and to make friends for the first time properly. And I think it's a really uplifting book, but it also shows you bullying about appearances and the insecurity that can come as a result of being bullied about your appearance. Thank you for watching. Are there any books you've read that deal with different type of bullying to those that I've mentioned? What about bullying in the workplace or adults? Have you read any books which deal with this? Bye!